Hello everyone. It is Thursday afternoon and that means it's time for another Facebook Live. We are playing with another set that is on the last chance list. So I did not check today. Yesterday when I was posting everything, I made sure it was still available. So hopefully it's still available today. But this is the linked together bundle. I will give you a minute to find me here while I share this over to my page. That will give you a minute to get on here too. It was much easier when I could just share it. All right. Waiting for Facebook to be done. There we go. All right, let's get back over on my laptop. Okay. There we go. All right, we are ready to go. I have some other cards that we made with this bundle in Kay's Technique Club. I'll show you those at the end. If you are new to Facebook Live, every Thursday pretty much, I come to you live and we make something fun, and then the next week I give it away. So last week we made this fun with the Ocean Friends, another bundle that is retiring or that is on the last chance list. They're doing things a little bit different. They'll put it on the last chance list, and we really don't know how long it will stay there. I assume it'll just stay there until they run out of product, but we don't know how long that will be. So if there's something that you want on the last chance list, I wouldn't delay because we really don't know how long it will be there. But this was an emboss resist technique. We embossed the lobsters in white and then stamped and sponged around them. So at the end, I will tell you who won that card from last week. I also have some swaps that I got at the retreat that I will show you at the end, and some of them have brand new products that are coming out May 6th. So there'll be some sneak peeks in there. But today we are playing with one that's on the last chance list. This is a stamp set, just a nice set of sentiments. And then it has a die set that goes with it. So it will cut out flowers, and then it has these nice frames, and you'll see those on a couple of the cards we made in Kay's class. And then this, to me, it looks like a trellis, and I used that and some of these flowers and leaves on my card today. And then it also comes with, I'm going to put that away just so I don't lose any pieces. It comes with some masks. So this is all together in a bundle. So these, let me get my... this might help you see them better. So there are a series of masks that came with this, and they get smaller. The openings get smaller. And they have this notch that helps you line them up, and you'll see that when I do it. And then this one that has a bunch of dots. And these are the two that we're going to use today. So you could layer, you know, like in Kay's card, we layered 4. We didn't layer this one. This we used on a different card, but we layered these 4 all together on one card. And so you'll see that at the end also. All right, let's get started. Let's do our mask work first. So I'm going to bring over another piece of paper just because it's going to get messy. And I am using... this is Pretty in Pink. Okay, all my little pieces are over here. Pretty in Pink. Make sure I stay where you can see it. So I'm going to tape this down on the edges. And then we'll do our, this mask first, our diamond one. Oops, sorry, I think I just bumped you. So we're going to set that up in the middle. And I think I did trim it after the fact. So let's tape that. It just helps if you tape it. This is Post-it note tape, so it won't hurt anything. And then I am going to put a mark where that notch is. That just helps line up the next one. We're only doing 2, but if you were doing 4, that would certainly help. So this is Pretty in Pink cardstock, and we're going to do our first layer in Pretty in Pink ink. So I have some new brushes that my friend Patience gave me. They're contraband, we call them, because they're not Stampin' Up, but I'm using them today. I have the Stampin' Up ones, and those are great. But today we're using these. So I'm going to start off, and it doesn't have to be even. You know, if you have some that's darker than others, it doesn't matter. It kind of gives it more texture that way. And you'd think, well, I'm putting Pretty in Pink on Pretty in Pink. Are you really going to be able to see anything? And you will. You'll see when I lift this up. All right, we're going to call that good. And then these masks clean off very easily. So you just take them and run it under some water, and that will clean that right up. All right, now our next one is this one with the dots, so we can line up our little notch there. And then I like to look and see, because that doesn't look quite right, does it? Sometimes you have to adjust it still a little bit. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right. Tape this again. Now we're going to use a brand new in color. This will be available May 6th. Strawberry Slush. If you've been around a while, you've seen this color before. We had it before. I think it was an in color before, and they've brought it back. Again, I'm using contraband brushes. I'm just going to go over this, make all those little dots on there. And this mask is pretty sturdy. It doesn't have a lot of thin places, so I can be pretty firm with it. All right. But some of the other ones, like the ones with the one with the biggest hole, let me show you. This one, that one you would want to be a little bit careful with because you wouldn't want to bend those little pieces. All right. And if you're not sure, you can always just lift it up. But yep, that looks good. Let me get that out of the way. I will clean those up after. All right, we can take this off. All right, we'll set that aside. We have a little bit of stamping, and that is just our sentiment. And it is in Granny Apple Green. So that's the card base I used. It's always a challenge to be straight when I'm on camera and I'm not right over it. Oh, it's not too bad. Okay. That is all our stamping. Now let's set that aside. I'm going to move this just so my trimmer doesn't slide everywhere. And I'm going to trim this down. And if I remember right, let me measure just to be sure I don't mess it up. I think it's 3 3/4. Yeah, by 5. And if I remember right, I could do, so we want it to end up there, but I do 1/8 of an inch more. So I'm going to take 1/8 of an inch off each side, basically. So that'll be 5 1/8. And now I can go down to my 3 3/4. and 5. So before I started, and I'll put all the measurements on my blog. That was the other thing I forgot to mention. When I'm done with this video, I will put all the measurements on my blog, so you can go find them there. Okay. Now we're ready to put everything together. So I used some of to me, I wanted that trellis to be silver. And so I cut a piece of this textured silver that we're going to attach this to. But before we attached it, I cut out my trellis out of the middle of it. Especially with metallic paper. Somebody was trying to call me. The United States was calling me. So just to save, especially on metallic paper, I cut this trellis out of the middle of that. Okay, I was trying to remember where I put my dimensionals. This we are going to put on just with our our seal, Stampin' Seal. It goes on our Granny Apple Green. And you will never know that there's a piece cut out of the middle of that. And then I put this piece up on dimensionals because I couldn't figure out any way to get any of this up on dimensionals. So this piece I put on dimensionals. Grab those. I'll put one in the middle so it won't sag. All right. Isn't that fun? You could do all sorts of different colors. I just wanted to use the new Strawberry Slush, so I decided it went well with Pretty in Pink. You wouldn't want to mix like a green and a red or something, because you would end up with brown. You know, you want to make sure they're kind of in the same color family. All right, and then this we're going to put on carefully with liquid glue. So the tricky thing about metallic is if you get liquid glue on the front of it, it makes a mess. So I'm just putting little dots in the corners, and then we'll put a few, but really small dots. And some of it will be held down by the flowers too. Okay. I'm going to put that in the middle of this. Just hold that down for a few seconds. And then we're ready to start building our flowers. Now, actually, I think I did my sentiment next. So let me find where I put that. It's here somewhere. Somewhere. Where did we put it? You guys are probably yelling at me. We stamped it on a long strip. I have no idea where it went. All right, well, we can do another one. That's easy enough to do. As soon as I do this, oh, maybe it's underneath of this, since we had to move it to trim. Yep, there it is. Since we had to move that to trim, that's how it ended up under there. Okay. Grab my scissors, and I'm going to banner cut just that right end of it. So the easiest way to do that is make a snip to them in the middle, and then from each corner to that middle. And that's the easiest way to make a banner cut. Whoops. There we go. And then we don't need it to be that long. So let's cut it off there. And then I put it on next, and then I kind of built my flowers around it. And everything else is put on with liquid glue. So we'll put that around there. And then I did lay mine out on this. I have glue on my fingers. These orange flowers. That is another new in color, Timid Tiger. So that was fun to use some new in colors. So we'll put our greenery down. Whoops. I didn't hold it long enough. And you could use glue dots if you didn't want to use green glue. That gets kind of messy. And I like to leave the end of mine free. I like to just put the glue at the base of it when it's long leaves like this. I'm going to put that somewhere there. Let's have it go stay on the pink. And I'm just going to kind of lay these out. Too much glue on my fingers. And then one more. Oops. Right there. So something like that. And don't worry about the centers because we're going to put rhinestones there so you won't see it. All right. Just put this guy down. And then our orange one. Timid Tiger. For some reason that one didn't, his center didn't come out. It did that on both of them. Both times I cut it, one of them the center came out, the other one it didn't. And I could have punched it out, but I didn't really care if it came out since I was going to put rhinestones in the center. Nope. Hold it a little bit longer. Again, you could use glue dots if you wanted to, if you didn't want to mess with the liquid glue, because it is getting all over my fingers. All right. I do want to be sure I cover up the ends of the greenery so they're not just kind of sticking out in the middle of nowhere. All right, and then another. And these flowers are out of the strawberry slush too. I think I forgot to mention that. One more. So this is not one you would want to mass produce if you needed a lot of them, because there is a lot of die cutting and lots of little pieces to put together. But it is fun with all those little flowers. Okay, now let me find my rhinestones. Here they are. I always like to use my Take Your Pick tool for these. And I just happen to have a sleeve of these that has a bunch of little ones left. And those fit perfectly in the middle of these flowers. So we'll just put one in the center of each flower. You could also use pearls. That would look pretty. We do have some new embellishments that are the new in colors. So you could use those once you get those. But there you go. There is your card. Hey! Hi, Kay. I'm playing with the link together one last time. Yes, rhinestones are always good, and you can always color them if you want them to be something other than that. All right, so I was telling them, Kay, that I was going to share the cards we made in your technique club using this set. So this is one of them. Actually, I don't know where the third one is, but so this is using one of those dies, that kind of parallelogram or whatever it is, and we used all three of the kind of squares or diamond shaped, and then the dots. So in this one, we just used two. We used one diamond shape in the dots. This one, we used three diamond shapes in the dots. And then this one we made with shaving cream, and the other mask, that was a lot of fun, and some flowers. And then this was the one that Kay made for a swap. And so this is oh shoot, what is that stuff called? Embossing paste. So she did, and it's the shimmer white. So I don't know, you probably can't see on camera very well, but it's got some glimmer to it. So that was a lot of work. That's the diamond or the parallelogram on this one that's turned this way, and then cut another one. So this was one that she copied from the catalog. So those are all using this bundle that is on the last chance list. So don't wait if you want to get that. And then let's show you, these are swaps I got at the retreat. So I was lucky enough to go to Kay's retreat last weekend, and we had swaps, and we had 15 people participate. So I have 15 swaps to show you. This is with the textured notes. Isn't that pretty? I like the blue on that. That is from Sean. This is from Paula. This is a new set. It's a turtle one. I don't know the names of all the new ones yet. I'm still learning. But isn't that fun? And look at that embossing folder. Like a turtle shell. I think I said that was from Paula. This one is from Elizabeth. This is a current online exclusive. It's a travel one. I don't remember the name of it either. This is from Noelle. This is a new tag set. That's a lot of fun. From Gail. Look at that. Isn't that fun? This is Kay's. It's another new set. It has these lovely dies. This paper. Isn't that gorgeous? That was a lot of work. This is Jackie's. Thankful Garden, I believe, is the name of this. And she just fussy cut some of the flowers out of it. There's Wink of Stella on there. You can kind of see. Let's see. This one is Karen's. Again with that tag set. Yeah, that's going to be on my list. That's a nice. This is April's. Another brand new. It's called Along These Lines, and then the designer series paper is Celebrating Sips. Isn't that fun? This is Khakis. Again, I think that's Thankful Garden, but the background is a new embossing folder. Brand new. So these new things will be available May 6th. This is Rebecca's. It's the Delightful Wishes paper. And that, I'm not sure if that's where the sentiment is from. It might be. I don't remember. This is Ronnie's. This is another one that's on the last chance list. It's peach. Citrus something. It's been too long. This is from Patience. Uh-oh. One of the things came off of the next one. I don't know where it goes. I'm just going to put it somewhere. This is from Patience. This is that mini corrugated embossing folder. And this paper is actually carrying over, which we're really excited about. Oh, and mine's not in here because I pulled it out for something else, I guess. And then, oh, I see where it goes. It goes up there. I can see where it was. And this is, I don't remember. This is from Beverly. And she used some of that woven textures paper. And then I don't remember the stamp set. It's an online exclusive. So those were the swaps I got at the retreat. I'll have to show you mine another time because I had pulled it out. I'll show you my swap for this weekend. It's using new stuff. It's using Impressions of Bloom. So some beautiful paper, a stamp set. Not pretty? Pretty paper. All right. Now I just need to tell you who won the card from last week. This card, and it's Betty. So I know she will be so excited to have that. The beach is her favorite place to be. So I know she will be glad to have an ocean themed card. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Again, the dimensions for this will be on my blog shortly. And I will see you next Thursday for something else fun. Bye.